Hello friends, this is Coldrun. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. We're here ready in the Doman Enclave, ready to continue and hopefully today complete the ranged DPS role quest, the physical ranged DPS role quest. Yugiri, the devoted daughter. Yugiri appears armed and ready to leave the Enclave, which can only mean one thing. Yugiri, you've arrived not a moment too soon. The blasphemy has been sighted on the coast. For a mercy, there are no reported casualties as of yet. Hien. Just the woman I was hoping to see. No sooner had we cast our wide net than a Confederate messenger was at our door. If you would join us, Rasho awaits our arrival at Onokoro. Nod, nod. So, I'm very happy to be diving back into this. Rack mentioned in the comments how much they love the Doman group, like the Doman story and the Doman characters, and I cannot agree more. Tansui. Hear about the blasphemy, yes? Lord Hien and Yugiri should be arriving soon enough. Rasho. I remember you. I didn't remember your name. Your name rings 0 bells, but your face rings very much of a bell. Well now, that the noble Lord of Doma should come in person once again. Mayhap these blasphemies truly are a threat. Hien, indeed they are. And I was told you and yours had sighted our quarry quite recently. Was it on that island, or are you just looking at dramatically? Ah, yes, it was. Rasho. Aye, that we did. Near the islands of Shoal Rock. The beast appeared docile by all accounts, but appearances can be deceiving. If it is as you say, and this blasphemy has eyes only for former conscripts, then we have naught to fear. I trust those we have accepted into our care are still in yours at the Kien-Kun, enjoying the finest Doman hospitality? Yes, 100%. Anyway, I know not why it came to the Ruby Sea, nor why it remains idle, but if we act quickly, there is a chance we can take it unawares. Well, judging others 2 more quests after this, I doubt that's going to happen. Tansui, I propose that we divide our forces. If you're willing to go ashore, we'll take a ship and circle about the islands. First to find it, we'll have the honor of the kill. What if it just shocks me and just ends right now, and like this is the last quest? There is no level 88, 89, and 90 quest. Wait. 85, 86, 87, 88... Oh, no level 89 and 91. Hien. A simple enough plan. Shall we be off to Shoal Rock, then? I mean, in the meta stuff aside, it does sound like it could work. Yugiri. Make ready, Kukushu. Should we find the beast first, we must be prepared to strike at once. Hien. This is where the blasphemy was last sighted. If the fates are kind, this will all be over soon. The fates are not often kind, are they? I guess we did free Doma, so that's good, but it feels like the exception rather than the... Well, in the end, the fates are usually kind, but usually takes a while to get there. Is there a head on this thing? Oh, yes, there is. So it's opting to flee rather than fight. And meanwhile, my ranged ass is still just standing here watching. Hien. Damn. Such speed. I doubt even my falcons could keep pace with it. Tansui. Bah, don't tell me that's the blasphemy flying off into the distance. Oh. I hope the ill will it bore me in life... Oh, Hien. I hope the ill will it bore me in life might compel the beast to stay and fight. Perhaps less of Minato remains than I thought. Ah, that's actually a... I didn't even think of that. That makes sense. Tansui. Minato. The monstrosity was Minato. Hien, you knew her? Yeah, that's a bit of a surprise. Her family tried to flee to Hingashi during the occupation, but their ship was raided and sunk. When we happened upon the wreckage, she was huddled between her parents on a piece of flotsam, desperate to keep warm, but they had long since grown cold. Ah. This is a rough life. We took her to Onokoro, where we nursed her back to health. Couldn't imagine what horrors she must have witnessed. The mere sight of our weapons was enough to make her start screaming. Tansui. She was clearly unfit for our trade, so we sought a village that might take her in. Asari was that village. Several months later, I chanced to meet her on this very beach. She was in the company of a young Ari fisherman, and I knew at once she had found more than a home there. Okay. I saw them there many times after that. She found something comforting about this place, I think. Yugiri. According to reports from Radzat Han, the memories and desires of those who turn can influence their behavior as blasphemies. Yeah, it's hard to say exactly how much, but it definitely can. I mean, it can, at least it sounds almost like how zombies, like in common movies, are depicted, like just kind of retaining some of the emotional inertia and like mechanical inertia from their lives. Hien. Then perhaps Minato's memories are what compelled the beast to come here. So can we like trace her life and figure out where else it's going to go? Tansui. That would explain its timid nature. Minato was never one for violence, and the sight of you, blade drawn, no doubt stirred what little of the woman remains in the monster. Hien. If that's the case, an assault on the Kien Khan is unlikely, guarded as it is by our samurai, but how are we to fight an enemy so quick to flee at the first sign of danger? Tansui. Robbed of her parents, her husband, now her life. I would rather we didn't have to at all. I don't know that that's an option. I mean, what happens if we let it be? I guess it would just cause terror and cause more people to turn and despair and all that. But I understand full well the risk we take if we do by doing nothing. If we catch sight of the blasphemy again, you will be the first to know. Perhaps next time we can put her soul to rest. Hien, there is naught to do now but bide our time. Come, let us return to the Enclave. Off we go. Given what we have learned, it seems likely that the blasphemy will return to Shoal Rock. But that knowledge will avail us naught if we cannot prevent it from escaping again. Oh, right, the fanatics. They heard we were going to hunt it down. They're off to protect. Kisei. Lord Hien, on behalf of the people of Asari, we are come with a request. Hien, we welcome you with open arms and open hearts. What is it you would ask of me? She's gonna ask us to stop hunting it, isn't she? Kisei. Those returned to us in the prisoner exchange have been granted shelter at the Kien Khan. That they yet live is an affront to the Kami's grand design. You want us to kill them? Is an affront to the Kami's grand design, and the spirits of our loved ones suffer for it. Balance must needs be restored, and so I beseech you to render them unto the goddess Izanami. Look, I get that Hien feels some guilt. He does not feel this much guilt. Yeah. Hien, absolutely not. 'Tis not our place to pray for the death of others, nor draw steel to sate mere bloodlust. When I take a life, be it by command or my own hand, I do so not in service to vengeance, but to uphold my duty to Doma and her people. Kisei, how did your mercy for Yotsuyu serve your duty? How were your people made better by the sight of her walking free? It was Issei himself who, I think it was Issei, who, turned in favor of her. She was, at that point, she was the Doman who once was. She was the, I know, these are old arguments, I know, but I feel very passionately in support of Tsuyu. Hien. For her crimes and her cruelty, I cut her down the day we took Doma Castle. I sought to kill her, and by rights she should have died then and there. That's right. He took measures to kill her. But the kami willed otherwise. Smart rhetorical move there. And not just rhetorical, I think he actually believes this. The kami willed otherwise and returned her to us alive and bereft of her memories. With no recollection of her deeds, it would have been Tsuyu who faced punishment, not Yotsuyu. This was my judgment, and for it you were denied the justice you deserved. You have every right to resent me. But you come before me and ask that I sacrifice men and women whose only crime was to suffer, to be condemned to a life of servitude. If you truly believe your cause to be sacrosanct, believe yourselves fit to bear the burden and swing the sword, then step forward. I mean, I wouldn't risk that, because I think they're more than willing to do it. Maybe not them. I think Kisei would. I think these are more casual fanatics. Kisei. Sophistry and lies. They were meant to die. The spirits demand it. Are these the words of the dead or the living who yet mourn? Who is this? I friggin' knew it. I knew it. I knew he'd be back. No, I didn't know it. I suspected. I thought it would be an appearance at the very end, like a cameo. I didn't think he'd come in this early. Words of the Asari priestess and her... Gosetsu. Words of the Asari priestess and her gift has spread far and wide, and I thought to see the truth of it myself. By coincidence, I crossed paths with a traveler hailing from the self-same village, who had a mind to return as well, but, alas, could not. And so he bid me deliver a missive in his stead. Who is this? Judging by the striking resemblance, I take it you are the young fisher Akitsu. Wait, is it from her dad? From... Oh, she's charlataning it up. I didn't know if that would be the case. So the dad is still alive. Akitsu. This is a letter from my father. He was severely wounded in battle, but expects to make a full recovery. He's alive, but that would mean... In a shocking... person who claims to speak to the dead turns out to be a liar. News at 11. I assume she's a liar, because that was such specific information that couldn't have been just like misinterpreting some other spiritual thing. Gosetsu. Surely a woman of your talents can divine a plausible explanation for this turn of events. I can't even take joy in Kisei getting wrecked because of her daughter, because she's had it rough too. Kisei. You shall pay for this contumely. What? Alright, I'm Googling this. Dictionary. Contumely. An archaic term for insolent or insulting language or treatment, such as the church should not be exposed to gossip and contumely. So it's a noun. You shall pay for this contumely. Hold on, I have to hear how this is pronounced too. Contumely. Okay. You shall pay for this contumely. My daughter will make certain of that. Well, that collapsed. So that was a... I mean, their fanaticism was pretty easy to break down, but the underlying despair is still there. The thing that drove them to accept it and believe it is still there. Oh, Gosetsu, it's a pleasure to see you again, my friend. Gosetsu. Apologies for the abrupt and otherwise unannounced arrival. As you can see, my lord Hien, I am returned. Hien. Full glad am I for it. Thanks to your timely arrival, we have given the lie to Kisei's claims of preternatural powers. Yugiri. I gather you are apprised of recent events? Gosetsu. I did not take long to learn the state of affairs here in Doma, and that my assistance may be required. I had heard tales of Kisei channeling the dead, including the father of one young fisherman. Imagine my surprise when I saw this spirit in the flesh. He was also on pilgrimage, paying respects to the departed, and we chanced to meet in a Liberation Front infirmary. Are they going to explain how she knew that kind of secret piece of information? Like, did they cross paths? Would that we were not brought back together under such circumstances, but I am glad to see you all hale and hearty. Like, maybe it's not a big deal. Maybe it's just, like, the sort of guess, like, he's a fisherman. Of course, his father probably taught him to fish. So maybe it's like that's the sort of thing it is. Like one of those super general predictions. Like, oh, I sense you feel regret. Oh, yes, I do feel regret about something. Yeah, the spirits must talk to you, actually. The kid is back. This is the kid we were lingering on. I love that rope around Gosetsu's neck. Hien. Tombo? Oh, wrong voice. Tombo, is something the matter? Tombo, I wish to apologize, Lord Hien. It was wrong of me to say the things I said. I understand nothing can bring back my father, but I was so angry. His father? I thought it was his brother. Oh, no, I guess both his brother and his father. It's just, my brother was always so brave, but father's death was more than he could bear, and it turned him into that monster. If he wasn't brave enough, what chance do I have? We wanted to perform the rites for father, but the body was never returned to us, so... Not that I blame you for that, Lord Hien. I understand nothing could be done. Can't we do, like, a rites in absentia thing? Like, you know how sometimes they bury, like, an empty casket if someone's, like, lost at sea? Gosetsu. That Akitsu's father survived is nothing short of a miracle, but I fear he is indeed the rare exception. I have offered prayers at more graves than I can count. Right, that was his pilgrimage. It would be cruel to give others the false hope that their loved ones might return. And yet Kisei continues to do just that, offering comfort with her lies. A tempting but ephemeral balm for wounds that have yet to heal. Much like the anger some harbor for you, or resentment for the families restored while theirs remain broken. Yeah, it comes down to jealousy. Understandable jealousy. Gosetsu. But for those like that poor boy whose hearts lack for hatred, who know only sadness and despair. That's right, in some... I mean, they were commenting before on how that village had such a low number of people turning, and yeah, they had some... I think there was a channel other than just despair for their feelings. Hien, aye, they too may turn. Exposing the truth of Kisei's deception hasn't helped matters. It's helped them a little bit, I think. If we are to prevent more suffering, we must pursue a lasting solution. I would be most grateful for your counsel, Gosetsu. There is much I could learn from your pilgrimage. Gosetsu. If there is aught you require, but say the word, and it shall be done. It is the least I can do for the part I played in Yotsuyu's tragedy. I failed her in the end, but I will not fail you, my lord. You did not fail her. You weren't there. You weren't there in Phase 2 of the Tsukuyomi fight. Hien. Thank you again for your aid, Kakushu. The day's events have given me much to consider. When our next step is decided, you will be the first to know. The devoted daughter complete. Bop, 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 bop. A singular gift. With the reward of coconut cod chowder. Yugiri's stern expression suggests she has no good news to share. Regrettably, there have been no sightings of the blasphemy since our first encounter at Shoal Rock. As Tansui surmised, it seems to fear confrontation. We, for our part, have tried to make good use of this intervening calm. Even now, Lord Hien and Gosetsu discuss how we might prevent other villagers from turning. If you would wait here a moment, he would no doubt wish to hear your thoughts on the matter. Kukushu. Oh, Hien. Kukushu, so glad you could come. As Yugiri no doubt explained, the blasphemy continues to elude us, and so we have turned our attention to other matters we can and should address. After long discussions and much deliberation, we believe we have found a means to allay the growing malaise of our people. If you would, Gosetsu. Is it going to be what I suggested, like an empty, like a sort of Memorial Day, like an empty casket funeral sort of deal? Gosetsu. The idea came to us after considering young Tonbo's remarks about his father, whose body was never found and returned to Doma. Others no doubt share in his melancholy, unable to bury and mourn their loved ones as is their right. Put simply, they cannot make peace with their loss. Their anguish, if left to linger, may consume them as well. Hien. That we might provide the people of Doma with comfort and closure, we will hold an... Yep, this is it. Good idea. Me. We will hold a national funeral at the Swallow's Compass. Those who choose to attend will be asked to present personal effects of the deceased they wish to be enshrined there. Spirits reside in all things, be they living or inanimate, and though we may die, a part of us lives on in the items we cherished most in life. That's quite a thought. I believe it. I believe it. Therefore, in lieu of remains, these belongings will be afforded a place in the royal mausoleum, that the spirits of those lost to us might find their way home to Doma, and at last know peace. The announcement has already been made, and a great many people are now engaged in the difficult task of deciding which keepsake will serve as their offering. I'm thinking as I listen to this what it would be for me, or what it would be for my loved ones, and it's a rough thought. It is not a decision to be made lightly, but I suspect they will have made up their minds by the time we go to collect their chosen tokens. I also hope to learn more about the departed from those willing to speak with me for my benefit and for theirs. To break free of their sorrow, they must seek joy in the memories and the love they shared with the departed, and I will help them find it. Might the liberator of Doma be willing to favor the people with her presence as well? I doubt not they will appreciate the gesture. That's a big nod. Good. Yugiri, I leave the people of Isari to you. Gosetsu, might I ask you to... Apologies, my lord, but there's a small, most urgent matter I must first tend to. Are you going to find one for Yotsuyu? I guess her body was... I wonder if it's going to be someone, though. Maybe your daughter, but I don't know if that would be appropriate. Like, not because of what Yotsuyu did, but because she actually has a body. I wonder. Hien. Very well, I shall not pry. Now, Kakushu, let us go and pay a visit to the good people of Namai. Good luck, Gosetsu. Hien. Right then, before we begin, I would remind you that you need only listen to the tales of their loved ones. As overseer of the ceremony, I see it as my duty to deliver their effects personally. Because of this, it is of the utmost importance that we keep clear of any beasts that might damage our cargo. It goes without saying how important it is that their offerings are delivered in pristine condition, and that will be no good to you in a fight while heavily encumbered. If stealth or flight are not options, I must ask that you fight for us both, but we needn't worry unless the occasion arises. For now, let us be off. I have a feeling the occasion might arise. That's a possibility that is not zero. Grieving Elder. I must thank you again, Lord Hien, for this honor. My son would have been overjoyed to know that his katana would be enshrined at the Swallow's Compass. This is a really great idea. I like their specific adaptation of just a funeral or memorial service. Hien, nay, the honor is mine. I'm sure your son was a fine warrior. Ikerai. So was I once upon a time, a samurai as it happens, in service to your father when the Empire first invaded our lands. Though we were defeated, our spirits broken, but my son Motosue was never one to lose hope. He was determined to follow in my footsteps, gave everything to honing his skill with the blade. When I watched him train, I felt the pride I thought I'd forsaken swell in my breast, and I knew he would restore our family to its former glory. Alas, he could have fled, perhaps started life anew as a vagabond of some sort, but he bore the burden and fought for Garlemald, for fear of what the Imperials might do if he did not. Yeah, that's a tougher thing to do than any life as a vagabond. Hien, 'tis plain he was a loving son and a warrior true. I will care for his blade as if it were my own, and see it given the honor and respect due of a samurai of Doma. Part of why Hien is such a good leader is because of what a good listener he is. Grieving Elder. Samurai of Doma. Motosue would be so happy. Yeah, that's right from his lips. Bereaved woman. Is there anyone else who, like, uses vehicles to get, like, 3 feet? Who, like, mounts up for, like, very, very short jaunts? Bereaved woman. My husband, my dear sweet Moroya, never returned from Garlemald, but perhaps now his soul might know peace. Please take this painting brush to the Swallow's Compass. Hien, I shall handle it with the utmost care. Might we trouble you to tell us more about your husband? This is a good place to paint. Moroya was a gentle and kind soul. There was nothing he loved more in the world than to create. That brush never left his side, not even when he tended the fields. Any spare moment was dedicated to his craft, and he produced the most wonderful vistas of Yansha. It was his dream to take us to Kugane, where he would become a famous artist, until he was conscripted. In the early days he would send drawings of the places they took him, though I know not how, but more time began to pass between each arrival, and then they stopped coming altogether. I mean, you have to be in a certain mindset to paint, and being a soldier for Garlemald has just got to be soul-destroying. Specifically a Doman being a soldier for Garlemald. I know there are Garleans who would not find it soul-destroying. I know not in what far-flung land he died, but I pray it was as beautiful as his works. It's a good prayer. Hien, he sounds like quite a man, to hold fast to his art even when forced to endure such hardship. His soul will find peace, of that I have no doubt. Yeah. Oh, and Tanbo. I realize it's quite large, but I wanted to offer this on behalf of my brother and our father, Suzushiro. Hien, if you are willing, I would very much like to hear more about them both. My father, he was a carpenter. He was a good man, if a bit stubborn, always thinking about his work. The only time he ever seemed to enjoy himself was when he had a cup of sake in his hand. When my brother came of age, he took up the trade as well. It brought them closer. I'd see them laughing over drinks together or listening in silence to the crickets singing under the moonlight. I wanted to join them one day. This was their favorite sake, and I thought they might miss it. This is so good. Hien, I'm sure it will taste all the sweeter having come from you. No doubt. I realize no one can ever replace your brother or father, but if you will allow, I would be honored to share drinks with you in their stead. When you are of age, of course. Again, just a flat-out good dude. Hien, this should be everything. Would you join me for a short reprieve before our journey back? It's no dinner date with Aim Eric, but I will absolutely take it. I think he's. Personally, I think Hien is far more attractive than Aim Eric. They put on brave faces, but the people of Namai are still racked with grief. It is the same at every village I have visited in recent days, but it is only now that I am struck by the contradictory nature of my goals. Having joined the Eastern Alliance and taken steps to revitalize the Enclave, I believed Doma was at last on the path to peace and prosperity. I still do. Yet by focusing so keenly on the future, I have neglected the past that yet haunts my people. This is a good step to remedy that. Even if they do not give in to despair and become beasts that plague our land like poor Tonbo's brother, how are we to truly move forward if we are constantly looking back? You speak of their haunted pasts, Lord Hien. What of yours? Is there not someone for whom you still grieve? I like this line because, again, he doesn't have to think about it from an outsider's perspective. He's one of them. You speak of their haunted pasts, Lord Hien, but what of yours? Me? All things considered, I suppose it was only a matter of time before the subject was broached. Yeah, are you going to bring something... Again, Ha! She cuts to the heart of the matter, and the young lord. For the best, I should think. For he cannot lead by example if he has not yet made peace with his own past. I'm assuming this is Gosetsu. Yeah. Oh, maybe that's who he did. Maybe that's who he's mourning, is Hien's father. 1,000 apologies, my lord. I was passing through, tending to the matters of which I spoke earlier, when I chanced to hear familiar voices in the distance. If I may be so bold, the people of Doma, one and all, understand the source of your pain. To lose your father in the turmoil of a failed rebellion, his staggering duty to the throne thrust upon you. Aye, how could you even begin to mourn when first you had to lead? It would behoove you to take part in the funeral rites, my lord. Take this time to make peace with your past, while it is still yours to spend. Though unlikely, if not impossible, were you to become a monster as well, Doma would surely be lost. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen, but it's good still. Hien, I thank you for your counsel, Gosetsu, but if I may ask, why is it you keep your blade at the ready? I thought this personal matter of yours to be naught but a trifle, or am I mistaken? Gosetsu, well, I find the katana a superior tool for healing persimmons. Speaking of which, I do believe my stomach begs for sustenance, if you will excuse me. I mean, I think he's making an excuse. I don't think he's actually peeling persimmons, but, like, I wonder. Oh, he's training! I didn't even think of that. Hien. Training to help slay the blasphemy, no doubt. Fitting that he should offer me counsel, yet refuse to heed it in kind. He is not the warrior he once was, but he is wise, our obstinate friend. I mean, there's an Eminem line I'm trying to think of from an album from a few years ago. If he's half as good as he was, even if he's half as good as he once was, he's still twice as good as most people will ever be. If I am to be perfectly honest, it frightens me to recall it, the moment it all came crashing down. We'd taken Doma Castle. Victory was ours, but then we looked out and saw the banners of the 12th Legion marching toward us, the Crown Prince at the fore. No sooner had Gosetsu and I escaped than we received word that Xenos had slain my father. I remember how the fight went out of Gosetsu in an instant, how he wept for his lord, while I felt the weight of the profound duty bear down upon my shoulders, crushing, suffocating, the heat of my own breath, the chill of my clammy palms. But duty demanded I master my emotions. When all those around me, Gosetsu included, were consumed by anger and a thirst for vengeance, I had to be in control. Under my orders we dispersed and fled to fight another day. To this day, I have not stopped to reflect on my father's death. How could I, devoted as I am to finding Doma's way forward? It's a really tough thing in that position to take time for yourself, especially because you don't know how long it's going to take once you open that up. But now I must, and so, in having taken you into my confidence, would you see this through with me to journey's end? Nod, nod. The keepsake I would offer up for the funeral is hidden in a place not easily reached. We will have to fly there, I'm afraid, but worry not. My yole will ferry us. Just a moment. Oh, I want a two-person yole. Whoa! That is gorgeous. I don't remember Plum Spring. I'm sure I've been here before, but I certainly don't remember it. Maybe I haven't even been here before. I assume I had to be here to uncover the map, but I don't remember it. Hien, my parents would bring me here for Hanami as a child. Oh, yeah. Hanami is a Japanese word for cherry blossom viewing, right? Its beauty and serenity was such that I could forget the realities of the occupation. Indeed, some of my fondest memories of family are here, which is precisely why I chose this place to conceal the singular gift my father bequeathed to me as a child. I hope the cats didn't get it. Oh, little monkey king! Charming, is it not? The great auspice Qitian Dasheng was said to reside somewhere along the Dai Ryu chain. Yeah, I killed Qitian Dasheng, or beat him. Hello, pigeon. In those days, anyone and everyone knew the tales of his prowess. Reckless boy that I was, I once even tried to seek him out, hoping he might help us. I don't remember context-wise why I fought him, what I was doing at the time. I know he was at the end of that dungeon, but I don't remember what the dungeon's role in the story was. I buried it here shortly after my coming-of-age ceremony. It seemed a fitting place to part with my childhood and offer a final goodbye to my mother. More a keepsake of mine than his, to be sure, but he was never a man of worldly possessions. Still, I suspect he would allow himself a rare smile if he were to see it again after all these years. Look at that cute little monkey face! And that is precisely how I wish to bid him farewell, with a smile. It's a good way to bid people farewell. Loved ones, anyway. It should go without saying I would prefer not become known that I kept this doll here. Wouldn't want the children to grow jealous now, would we? No, we would not. And with that, I believe it is time we return to the Enclave. That is a nice keepsake. Yugiri. The two of you were away for quite some time. Is everything all right? Yeah, let me tell you about this monkey. Hien. There are yet more villages to visit and offerings to collect, but preparations are proceeding apace. Soon the people will have one less cause to be tempted down the path of despair. Of course, there still remains the problem of the blasphemy. The former conscripts will remain at the Kien-Kan until it has been dealt with. We will slay the beast in due time, but before that, I would be honored if you were present for the funeral rites. Pray, speak with Yugiri when next you visit the Enclave, and she will tell you more of the proceedings. We never actually saw the Memorial Day thing in Alamigo. I wonder if we'll see this. Laid to rest. Yugiri's somber expression suggests you have arrived right on time. As ever, your timing is impeccable. We but moments ago completed preparations for the funeral. I will Is the blasphemy gonna crash the funeral? I'm also just mechanically thinking how they're gonna resolve this in one quest. The blasphemy hunt and killing and the funeral. Hien, you're here, excellent. The blasphemy continues to shun our settlements, and I mean to make the most of the time its absence affords us. I assume you were planning to take part in the ceremony. Glad to hear it. Unfortunately, Gosetsu will not be joining us today. Did he tell? I guess he's training again. No. Oh, yeah. He's injured himself, as I knew he would, with his secret training, and now grumbles from the confines of his bed, but he will be fine in due course. We may worry over his convalescence after the funeral. Poor Gosetsu. He's helpful. He just... It's kind of... It's not quite our involved, but he's finding other ways. He's finding it difficult to find other roles, even despite his self-chosen pilgrimage. So this is Swallow's Compass. Hien. The villagers should arrive ere long, then we may begin. Duty calls. Commence battle for laid to rest. Yeah, sure. It certainly makes it look like like we're gonna get a visit from Blasphemy McJones. Kisei. Uh-oh. Is she regretting it? Kisei. Lord Hien, He does not have happy faces for her. She is apologizing. I apologize, my lord, for my past transgressions. I yearn to believe my daughter was a kami reborn, but you are right. She is a monster. Words can ill express my shame for advocating the conscripts be sacrificed to appease the dead. I believe you. I think you are sincere. Nay, the ceremony shall serve far, far better. And so as a humble citizen of Doma, I offer my deepest gratitude and beg for your forgiveness. I would make an offering on behalf of my husband and my son, as well as my dear stepdaughter Minato. I throw myself on your mercy, Lord Hien. Allow them a place within the mausoleum that their spirits may know rest. He's of course going to say yes to this, because if he says no, he's not punishing her, he's punishing the memory of the loved ones. Yeah, there's no chance he would say no to that. Hien. There is no need to beg forgiveness, Kisei, isn't there? Please rise. Well, I was wrong. I really thought it was sincere. I really 100% thought she was sincere. I did not suspect that she was still thinking of murder, but I'm glad she was. And I'm glad that Yugiri gets to shine. Kisei, she will come for you. You know what? I'm thinking of... This reminds me very much of right before Yotsuyu brought the house down. When she shared this sincere story of her past and the pain that she went through. And then she revealed it was all a ruse. But it was still the truth. Whether it was a ruse, whether the telling was a ruse or not, the things she was talking about were the truth. And it's not quite the same, but I think that he's going to find a way to he's going to still take the spirit of what she said as a lie as truth. If anything's going to make Minato come, I mean, Oh, is that why she gave her life to... By the kami, she gave her life to draw out the blasphemy. Is that... Like, because now it's going to sense pain and it's going to drive... The loss of her stepmother's going to drive her into a rage? That could be. Blasphemy, Izanami. Is that hair or a shield? Or like hair or a helmet? It's like solidified. It's like hair that's solidified into like a helmet over her, like a hood almost. Here we go. Minato holds me responsible for her stepmother's death. I will keep its attention. Oh. Can you break its focus? I don't know if I can I? Oh, right, I have head graze. My bad. I forgot about head graze. Remain calm and alert. It may attempt another charge. Yeah, I shouldn't have. Father. But I just forgot about that. Stygian whale. Oh shit, I didn't see the things marching to the other side.
The weave of a shinobi's power.
I am not doing well this fight. I don't know if I'm going to survive this. Oh! Did... Oh, I was looking at my hotbar trying to do the dance steps. I didn't notice that, I didn't notice Hien moving into my circle. Alright, so there's two things. I see what's going on here. I didn't see this last time. Okay, so now we get out of the way of the incoming ones. Gotcha. Gotcha.
The weave of a shinobi's power.
It readies its strike beyond your guard. For what? How can I defend against this? What am I on my guard against? I can't move. What's going to save us? Oh, Gosetsu! What is that? Is he taking up a new job? Apologies for the untimely arrival, my lord. Are you kidding? This is the definition of timely. What is this? Is this like a geomancer thing? Is it literally a geomancer thing? Hien, Gosetsu, what is that staff? Pilgrimage proved a most enlightening experience, and is where I chanced to discover the benefits of ascetic training. I may no longer be fit to wield a blade, my lord, but Shugendo affords me another way to turn the tide of battle. I'm googling Shugendo. I don't know what Shugendo is. Shugendo. Shugendo is a highly syncretic... syncretic. Now I have to look up what syncretic means. Syncretic, characterized or brought about by a combination of different forms of belief or practice. Okay, so it's not like there's not like the Church of Shugendo. Okay, gotcha. Is a highly syncretic religious cult, a body of ascetic practices from the 7th century in Japan. Shinto, mountain worship, Buddhism, kind of a mix of stuff. Oh, practitioners are Shugenjo Yamabushi. I know about Yamabushi. I didn't know that was the same thing. So like mountain, like wandering protector sort of deal. Okay. He has changed roles. We got healer Gosetsu on our side. Hien, stubborn as ever. I shall have to thank you later. New job preview, maybe? Let us put an end to this. Oh, the full party arrives. I wonder if this is a checkpoint. I kind of hope it is. Okay, Yugiri, you're going to be my dance partner. It's a fantasy many of us have in life.
For you, father.
Nice. Gosetsu Everfall? That's a new title, isn't it? What a great, great song this is. A great piece of music. Again, for all the crap that Stormblood gets, I know that it does not get crap for this. I know that this is a widely beloved piece of music. I sent something that goes this way. I sent something as a mess quickly to me. Yeah, this is the thing that wrecked us last time. A test of my will and training both. Hold fast, everyone. Look at that. Well done, Gosetsu. I believe it is time we put past time we put Minato's soul to rest. And we got him. And I will say that I think there that our partners' teamwork could do a little bit of practice, because they did not stack with Gosetsu. They were ready to let him just die. Hien, a deceiver to the bitter end, but she is still a daughter of Doma. She will have a proper burial, and her family's belongings enshrined with the others. Yep. Hien is very true to his nature. The little monkey. Hien, I have gathered you here today not to speak of the future, but to reflect on the past, to pay respects to loved ones fallen on the field of battle. In honor of the pigeon I can't see. Thank you. In honor of their sacrifices, these sons and daughters of Doma shall be given a place here, at the Swallow's Compass. Though they no longer walk with us in life, they walk with us in spirit. Pray never forget their bravery, that the memories of their legacy give you comfort and strength. Moroya Motokawa, the aspiring painter. He was a man who saw beauty in all things, and one day would have become a renowned artist in Kugane. Or Kugane. Motosue Jito, the warrior in training. He longed to become a samurai like his father and bring honor to his family. The last one's going to be for she who became a blasphemy, isn't it? Suzushiro Kodakumi, the carpenter, a man wholly dedicated to his craft, who hoped to one day pass on his talents to his two loving children. It's a long list you just read. A lot of candles burning. And lastly, Minato Shihogaki and her stepmother Kisei. Theirs was once a happiness to be envied. Minato's parents were murdered by Imperial soldiers, and after being rescued by the Confederacy, Minato was given into the care of the village of Isari. Though she arrived with a broken heart, it was soon mended by the man who had become her husband, the son of Kisei, who herself had been born to Isari on winds of tragedy. Kisei was a child of the deep, born in Sui no Sato. For her gifts she was exiled, but with her courage and tenacity, found a new home on the shores of the Ruby Sea. She was a devoted wife and mother, though not related by blood. She loved Minato as if she were her own. That is how she lived, how they all lived, and how they should be remembered. Let your hearts swell not with sorrow, but with joy for their memory. Know that proof of their mark left on this world shall remain here, enshrined within the Swallow's Compass for all eternity. Let us still our voices and in silence pray for their souls, that they may share in the peace we have found. Nice job, Hien. All around. Gosetsu. Traditionally, the royal mausoleum is reserved for the ruling clans, but I have no doubt Lord Kaien would approve of his son's decision. Oh, even better job by Hien then. Yugiri. Many tears were shed throughout the ceremony, not for grief, but for relief, I think. Happiness, even. Some of them. Hien. Well, I certainly wasn't expecting battle with a blasphemy as a prelude to the ceremony. At least now we may breathe easy, if only for a short while. The villagers have all returned home, and I believe it is time we did the same. It's time to walk to the end. Gosetsu. I am not well versed in healing magics, but thankfully it was enough to be of some use to Lord Hien. Yeah, your first duty is always rough. You'll get used to it. Yugiri. Never in my wildest dreams did I foresee Gosetsu embracing the ascetic arts. Yeah, I really did not see a job change coming. Hien. We've held a national funeral and slain a blasphemy besides. A rather productive day, would you not agree? The former conscripts will be elated to finally return home. Speaking of returns, I think I speak for all of us when I say your appearance at Swallow's Compass came as something of a shock. What of your injuries from training? Gosetsu. Quite painful for some time, I assure you. Despite my best efforts to reclaim my former skills, my back and my hips vigorously protested. I planned to sleep that I might be well rested for the morrow's hunt, but a voice called out to me. I was needed, and so I grabbed my cane and ran as quickly as my ailing body would allow. He's got a again. I could definitely see this being a future job where he is the leader. Yugiri. The cane suits you, Gosetsu, but your mastery of healing magics was a sight to behold. Almost as surprising as your resurrection following the fall of Doma Castle. He's been through the ringer, hasn't he, this guy? I am still but a novice in dire need of training. 'Tis my hope that I will be able to refine my ascetic arts during my next pilgrimage. Hien, so you are leaving then? Gosetsu. Worry not, Lord Hien. Should you find yourself in dire straits once more, I shall fly to your side. Not as a samurai, perhaps, but I will nonetheless give our enemies cause to tremble. Gosetsu is absolutely best boy. There's so many best boys in this game, but he's right up there. And with that, I take my leave. And I honestly think he might be the top. He might be the bestest boy. Just a living legend. Hien, though it may be years, if not decades, until we truly make peace with our past, we have turned a corner and begun to heal. We may look to the future unburdened by grief, ignored and sadness denied. The path ahead is ever fraught with peril, but we shall walk it with eyes unclouded, and with pride. You've done so much for us, for Doma. I wish there was more I could do for you. You've done plenty. If I may ask one last favor, before you leave, please inform our representative at Razartan that the blasphemy has been vanquished, and the people of Doma are safe. With any luck, our experiences here will prove useful to other nations that yet grapple with these beasts. Fanning myself as a way to say yes. Here we are, Doman delegate. Lady Kikuchi, you are returned. What word from Doma? All the words from Doma. The blasphemy is no more. That is most wonderful news. I must inform the other delegates at once. Thank you again for answering our summons, even if we came, like, middle of the pack. If another threat should rear its dastardly head, I pray we can count on your assistance again. Always for Doma, always. Okay. More Than Loneliness. It's an interesting achievement name here. And so, yeah, that's going to be it for me for now. Next time I will do one of the two remaining ones, either the tank one or the tank one or the melee DPS one. We'll see. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye-bye.